He says, favor to you and peace from Elohim. That word favor in a lot of transcripts will say, a lot of translations will say grace to you. So I've often said how absurd and strange it sounds when you put in the definition that church uses for grace. You would say, unmerited favor to you and peace from Elohim. Well, that's a very weird thing to wish somebody. Unmerited favor? Because we see grace, and grace just sounds like a wonderful thing. So we go, oh, grace to you. But we all believe it means unmerited favor. No, he's saying, may you have merited favor to you. May you merit his favor. Very Jewish thing to say, okay? May you merit his favor and have shalom and peace from Elohim. Oh, sounds very different, doesn't it? The teacher, the apostle, the emissary, is talking to those that he's been working with, that he desires that they merit his favor. We've heard of your belief in Messiah and of your love for the set-apart ones, which is an action phrase, right? They've demonstrated love for set-apart ones. They haven't just said, oh, well, we love everybody. No, but they've done things to demonstrate that. Because you could tell somebody you love them all you want, but are you showing them? You know? And so, there was a song in the I guess it was in the 90s, more than words, right? Because if I do it in a way of physically demonstrating it, then you wouldn't need to hear me just say, I love you. Because lots of people say it and don't do anything to demonstrate it. So they're empty words. So action is what makes the words have substance. That is also why we, from the day we heard, have not ceased praying for you and asking that you be filled with the knowledge of his desire in all wisdom and spiritual understanding. Oh! So again, it's not just about receiving the information that Yeshua came and died and was resurrected. Because he doesn't say that here. He says, we've been praying without ceasing that you would be filled with the knowledge of his desire. What does he want? And that's why I love Deuteronomy 10:12, because Israel didn't know what Yahweh wanted, and Moses, is being inspired by Yahweh to say, and now Israel, what does Yahweh want of you? But he wants you to fear him, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve him. And so you have this sort of process that we're to go through. That's his desire. There's a being that's going to look at and decide whether or not what you do is worthy. So what would that look like? Does anybody care? Does anybody teach this on Sunday? What does it mean to walk in a worthy manner? Because nobody's worthy in a Sunday church. They basically just say, make an altar call and you're in. You don't have to do anything to be worthy. He died for everybody. There's nothing for you to do to be worthy. As a matter of fact, they tell you you're not worthy. And that's why you had to do it, because you're not worthy. Right? So the whole point is that you're not worthy. So what in the world is Paul saying that he wants you to walk in a worthy manner? So he says, we've been praying without ceasing that you would have this knowledge of his desire in all wisdom and understanding to walk worthily of the master, pleasing all, bearing fruit in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of Elohim. So they want to focus on, we're just going to do good works. No! So you have to bear fruit in keeping Torah. And so some people think, oh, Rabbi, you just talk about the law so much. No, he does. I'm just reading you what he says. Well, you're just obsessed with the Torah observance. No, he is. Why do you point the finger at me? I didn't write this. It is what he has given us to understand what his desire is in terms of the two biggest things that we're here to do. Treat each other and treat him in a manner he wants. And his Torah tells us how to treat him and how to treat each other. It's not real complicated. This is how I expect you to treat me. These are my Torah commands on how to do that. This is how I expect you to treat each other. This is my Torah commands on how to do that. Can we be honest here for a second? Do you really think there's going to be a lot of weak people in the kingdom? Are they going to be mentally weak? Are they going to have weak minds? No. Are they going to be weak-hearted? No. Are they going to be led and driven by their emotions? No. So if you have any of those problems now, they're going to have to get fixed before you get there. Do not buy into whatever you were taught, like somehow he's just going to take out this junk, whatever heart I've got, and he's going to give me a perfect one and everything's going to be wonderful. That is not the way it works. And you look at me like, how do you know? Because if it was, then why is he waiting? He could do it anytime if that's the way it worked. Why is he making us suffer through and go through all of these trials and tribulations and things that actually cause us to grow? I remember I was in the commodities broker business. I was a commodities trader. And a guy came to our office to try to sign us up for a motivational seminar. And one of the guys in the office said to me, "Where are you going?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Well, I don't know." I asked him if he was going. He said, "Well, I don't know. I'm sure I've heard all that before." I said, "I certainly hope so." I said, "If this guy came up with anything new, it's probably no good. I'm not looking for anything new when I go. I want something that's right, solid, and I need to be reminded to do it." Now, it might be new the first time I go to somebody like that, but after all the years I've listened, I'm not going to probably hear anything new. And I don't expect to hear anything new. I may hear a different way of angling into it or approaching it, but I'm not going to hear anything new. But I'm not hoping to hear anything new. I'm hoping to hear something that will light a fire in an area I know better, but I'm not doing it. Things being revealed to you from above is only information you didn't know unless you do the next step, which is revelation has to be received. You have to say, "Thank you." And you have to then say, "I needed that, and I get it. I'm going to try to use that." Then the third step is that you apply it. Otherwise, it was just information. Okay, you can tell me how, "Oh man, I've been looking for a really great Italian restaurant, Chinese restaurant, whatever, and maybe you moved to this town," and I say, "There's a really great one over here." If you never go, that information was of no use. If you didn't believe me when I told you it was great, it's of no use. You understand what I'm saying? But really, let's go again to giving thanks to the Father who has made us in a condition fit to share in the inheritance. So how do we get into that condition? By walking it, walking worthily. That's how we become in a fit condition. Look, I can teach you. All right? Better yet, I can give you Arnold Schwarzenegger's book. It's really like the Bible of bodybuilding. It teaches you every exercise, how to do it right, what to do. Even if you don't want to become gigantic, it's just like the book, written back in the 80s or whatever it was, okay? Huge book. I give you that, and you'll know everything you need to know to get physically fit. Okay? Lots of guys out there, I can give you their books. Jack LaLanne wrote books back in the 60s, okay? And you can learn all the information on how to get in shape. And what does that do for you unless you actually apply it? We have the book. This book is what teaches you how to be fit to share in the inheritance. But we know that when he is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And I've always explained that verse as, first of all, you see, even John doesn't fully get it. I mean, he's looking through that glass dimly, an amoeba looking at a human being type of thing, like we to him. So he's making his best understanding, but he's also saying that at the point that he's revealed, when we see him as he is, then we'll get it because we'll be like him. But none of that's happening, as we're being told here in Colossians, unless you are actually becoming like him. So when we are physically made like him, from Homo sapiens sapien into Elohim, so now we understand what it's like to be him. We have the incorruptible body and the whole thing. We'll get things we couldn't possibly get in the flesh suit. But he's not giving us that unless we've already become internally transformed into that image.